introduce you to Samantha Skelly. Sam and I grew up in the same town in Poco, and she is an executive coach, a public speaker. She's the founder of Hungry for Happiness, a really cool movement that you should check out. So I think I started following you on social media about 7 years ago when Facebook was invented, and I just always have found you to be so raw and real and authentic and just like charismatic and super inspiring. So I know you on a personal level, so I know that it's genuine the way that you present yourself online, which is really cool. So I just wanted to hear your story and talk about, you used to be a personal trainer and now you're doing Hungry for Happiness.
So basically, I grew up as a dancer, and so in that world, you're constantly looking at your body, judging your body, trying to always like compare. And when I got out of that world, I wanted to be a TV personality, like personal trainer. So I started my first company at 20 in England. And through that experience, I realized that not only myself, but a lot of my clients were struggling with the relationship they had to food in their body. So they were constantly, like I was a constant dieter, like that was my full-time job. I was terrified of gaining weight because I wasn't dancing anymore. So I didn't have that really structured regime of 30 hours of like intense exercise a week. And so I was like freaking out. I'm like, okay, well I obviously need to restrict my calories and restrict my diet because like how else am I, like I'm just gonna blow up into like 500 pounds if I don't do that. So I went on this journey of like constantly trying to chase a diet and change my body and manipulate my body weight through restriction of calories, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So while I was doing that, I was also personal training, which is super inauthentic because on one hand, behind the scenes, I'm like really struggling with the relationship I had with food, and then I'm telling my clients like, hey, you should do this or you should do this. Right. So I felt like it wasn't aligned. And something that came up a lot was when we restrict our diet so much, we then binge on all the foods that we felt deprived from, right? Because we can't have this, we can't have this. So that cycle was definitely present in my life and a lot of my clients' lives as well. So when I moved back to Vancouver after I got deported from England,
I know you got deported.
I overstayed my visa by a year.
Okay.
I'm like, I need to create something with more impact. I need to create something that is really going to transform people at an emotional level and not just a superficial, like let's lose some weight kind of level, because that's where it all starts. So I created Hungry for Happiness October 2014, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah, I love the movement. And tell me about the I'm Perfect movement.
So with that, a huge theme that comes up with a lot of my clients is perfectionism.
Right.
So the reason why we develop these restrictive diets and the reason why we're always searching for something is because we're chasing perfectionism. We're trying to constantly be perfect. And like, what does that even mean, right? What does perfect even mean? It's like we're looking on Instagram, we're trying to figure out like, how can I get my thighs skinny or whatever. We're always trying to chase something, and when we're constantly chasing something, we're not being compassionate about what we actually have. And so the Imperfect movement was inspired by I just want to spread a message of being imperfect. Like, you are perfectly imperfect the way you are, everything in your life, and just appreciate that. Because what you appreciate appreciates. So if you're just really compassionate and loving yourself, that's just going to grow, and then your level of self-love and your quality of life is going to grow as a byproduct of just truly being grateful for what you have. So that's how that movement got started.
I love it. I love it because there's a lot of falseness behind social media. Mm-hmm. You can click a button and you're skinnier.
Yeah.
You can alter your face. You can do everything to change yourself. So we're looking at, not everybody, because not everybody's like that. You see a lot of Instagram models or just regular people that are altering the way that they look, whereas you are perfect the way you are. You just have to be happy with yourself. So yeah. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna fire off a bunch of questions at you.
Okay. What drives me? I think knowing that I have the ability to transform someone's life across the world that I've never met before through my work and through the methods that I use. It's amazing. And so just waking up and knowing that there's someone who's really struggling and I can really transform their lives at a deep level, that's what drives me. What's the worst that can happen? My uncle told me that like when I was super young, and it really sticks with me. So when I'm about to like do something outrageous or make a big decision on something, I just always ask myself like, what's the worst that can happen? And it's never that bad, so just do it. I get nervous a lot, and before my nerves used to really stop me from doing things. And if you just, so the feeling of nerves and the feeling of excitement is like in your body the same feeling. It's just how we attach our thoughts to it. So now when I'm feeling that feeling of like getting worked up and my mind could put me into like a negative spin, I just like associate that feeling with like a thought of excitement. One of my thoughts on failure, I think as long as you have a really healthy relationship to failure and you're constantly failing forward, and I'm really stubborn, so sometimes I'll make like the mistake 3 times until I'm like, okay, like fine, I get it. Failure does not equal rejection. Failure just means it's not rejection, it's just redirection. So if you're failing something or something's not working for you, the universe is just redirecting you into something that's going to be a lot more productive in alignment with your soul and your mission. Someone who just encourages and inspires you to play a bigger game. So the role models I have in my life, I feel like when I interact with them, I want to be a better person. Just love yourself. And that is such a huge, broad message with so many different things attached to it. But if we just truly knew our worth and knew how great we were, we would not have all these social issues that are present in today's world. Even just like loving yourself by like 1 more degree will save you so much stress, overwhelm, exhaustion in your life. A lot of people say to me, you know, Sam, it's just really hard to love myself. It's really hard. And the hardest thing in the world is not to love yourself.